In Helldivers, you have multiple missions and different operations for multiple different factions. However, over time, as we've gotten more and more dragged in conflict and had more content added through war bonds and free updates, we have seen the difficulty of Helldivers vary, as I'll say, as it is a controversial topic, and I know that some people struggle on difficulty 10, and someone who's like me, unemployed, a degenerate, and plays the game almost every day for 11 hours, I can understand how for me, the game's going to be quite easy because any challenge that I'm faced with, I can quickly master because I have the time to do so, while someone else on the other hand doesn't. But back in the time when I didn't play this game that much, there was a mission for the Meridia Arc before it was a black hole, and that was with the VIP exclusive Citizen Evacuation. Now, I don't know the major details of it, and I've always talked to people who have played it, and they told me it was the hardest mission Arrowhead ever made. But it seems that we have now welcomed back to that mission, but with a different coat of paint. Introducing the Platinum Heist, the Payday 2 Helldivers 2 legally distinct mission for all our robbers out there. But we aren't stealing anything because, remember, all these resources originally belonged to us, and actually the automatons are the ones stealing it. So is it really theft? This mission has been something of a thorn in a lot of Helldivers sides, and if you were here for that stream when this content just released, you would be knowing that not only did I die 15 times, very embarrassing, trust me, I know, but I also failed the mission, which is quite rare, as failing a mission for me is almost of a irregularity. It doesn't really happen. The only way it's happening is if I'm purposely throwing, and even then, it's not happening, because it's almost borderline impossible to fail missions. But this mission has been somewhat of a thorn in a lot of Helldivers sides, so I wanted to tell you some of the strategies I've developed when it comes to dealing with this mission. Because unlike any other mission, this is the first time ever that I am recommending that you do crowd control. Yes, crowd control, a concept that is not needed ever in this game, but you can just play into if you want to. This is the opposite. You do need crowd control. Stratagems that you would never think to use, like EMS Orbital. EMS Mortar actually does have some use because people use it on defense. I'm one of those people. But you never really bring in an EMS Mortar or an Orbital. I haven't seen anyone bring an Orbital EMS in like a decade. I know the game hasn't been out for that long, but you know what I mean. It has been quite some time since I've seen someone optionally bring for a good strat an orbital EMS, and this is one of those places where this is actually meta. You're going to want to bring stun grenades. It has been a long time since I've had remember the stun meta? That was a while ago. You're going to want to bring stun nades. You're going to want to bring orbital EMS. You're going to want to bring mortar EMS. You're going to want to try to get your teammates to bring that too. You're going to need the crowd control, because while I can't confirm if it is, the amount of enemies that they send at you is borderline infinite. So you might as well just assume they are, and they will not stop. Once you launch the mission and you're in, you will be swarmed. And not just be swarmed by troopers, not just be swarmed by war striders and hulks. They spam factory striders at you. I've had multiple times in mission where I've had to deal with 4 factory striders all at once, and right as I killed one, there was another one landing. So this game mode is not gonna be for the faint of heart. You will need to be abusing a little bit of the meta weapons, I'm not gonna lie. It's having someone with a recoilless, or even having 2 people with recoilless, to quickly handle the factory strider spam, the Hulk strider spam. If you have a war strider seed, then you have to deal with war striders and factory striders and Hulks. So you're gonna need something to take out those medium to heavy enemies, as well as you have a free stratagem slot because it can be whatever you want. I do say that the recommended you need to bring is an orbital EMS, mortar EMS, and some way to deal with the heavy units, be it a recoilless rifle or something, whatever your choice is, whatever is your favorite weapon, but you need to bring something to deal with that. But I see a variety of what people like to bring on that last stratagem slot. I see people bring orbital lasers, which can help, but you have to remember this is a blitz mission, which means you're only going to get around like 12 minutes. And with those 12 minutes, you can't really always rely on that long 3-minute plus cooldown because, like I said, you're getting spammed. So having things that have a little bit of a lower cooldown and the ability to be used more frequently are more beneficial. I've seen a lot of success with the orbital rail cannon, as I don't just use it for trying to do massive damage to a factory strider or that. I take it for the moments when the runner is going to be bringing the platinum back to the deposit, and there's a random Hulk that no one accounted for, not even me. So usually I use in those get out of jail free cards, as basically that's what the stratagem is. I highly recommend also that you have your team split up into basically 3 people are dealing exclusively with the chaff, the enemy spam. They're using the stratagems, and while the runner, this is going to be the other person, the runner is going to be the person who's getting the platinum and bringing it back to the deposit. Now you have 2 maps. So far, I haven't seen a 3rd map or a different variation of the maps. You have 1 map where the deposits of the platinum are on each side of the middle map. You can imagine like a circle in the middle or a rectangle. That is where the deposit is, or the bank, and on the one side of the bank is a bunch of platinum, and ahead of the bank is a bunch of other platinum, while you basically are in this pit while bots are being dropped around you and moving inwards to your position. While on the flip side, you have another variant where it's kind of the same thing, but instead of it being in a pit, you're in a more elevated position with the bank on top of that elevated position, and you have platinum directly behind and to the side of the bank. While on the flip side, you will have to then go out from the safety of that center area. Well, hopefully it's safe if you're spamming this, you have some good crowd control, but you're gonna have to leave that safety, or at least that runner's gonna have to leave that safety and then bring it back. And it's a little bit more of a challenging map compared to the other one. However, EMS, as I said, is going to be your ally. Orbital rail cannon is also going to be your ally. Having people with a recoilless or maybe a spear. I don't really like the spear that much. I'd rather just use the recoilless. And then on top of that, the mortars are going to help. Stun grenades are going to help. I've also seen on stream, and I've seen people even say it, smokes are going to be helpful. As long as you stay within the smoke, if you want to help your runner while they're going out on that secondary map that has the more out of the way platinum deposits, throwing some smokes down so that the enemy doesn't instantly shoot them, it's not going to stop them in place like the EMS is going to. It's not going to make them just stand still or be shut off for like 5 seconds. They're still going to be active, but while they're in the smoke and you're concealed by the smoke, they won't shoot you. So smoke actually has a place now. These are what's going to help you get through these missions. Remember, you're going to have 12 minutes. Don't death spiral. Do not think that the best strat, if you get messed up and you can't control the middle, is to try to outslay a bunch of the heavies and just hold out on the outskirts until you can make your way in. That's not going to work. You need to push into the middle of the map. If you ever get pushed out of the middle, you need to go back into the middle. The middle being the bank itself. You need to hold that position of the map. If you get pushed out of it, you need to push yourself back into it, okay? Do not try to outslay the enemies on the outskirts. I've tried that strat many times when I've had a bad seed or a bad just skill issue. You know, I'm not even going to try to blame the map. Just blame myself and my team. When we have a skill issue and it's just not working out for us, you need to push in, because they're just going to keep spawning. You kill 1 War Strider, 2 more are going to take its place. It's like Hail Hydra, okay? It's not fun. Well, it is kind of fun. I do like the map, actually. But these are my strats and what I've developed over my time of playing the mission, and they've worked for me. I went from instantly failing the first time I did it to when I thought, hey, why don't we bring EMS to control the crowd, and having basically a like 9 out of 10 times success rate. Usually the only time I'm failing is when someone doesn't bring an EMS or any kind of crowd control and messes up their build and brings in like something that they would think an ERAD is. Do not bring the same loadout you would bring for an ERAD. It's just not going to work out. And that's my TED Talk for today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by today's video. I hope this guide was able to help you, and please leave a comment down below if there's any strats that maybe I have missed or something that you like to use that's pretty niche that you see is pretty effective against the bots, because I definitely did not cover every single strat that's possible, but I did tell you the strat that I find the most optimal that I've been using personally to get a success rate going. If you are looking to be part of something greater and you want to play Helldivers with a group of like-minded individuals who like having fun on the game, please join the 2nd Liberation Battalion, where we have unique events. We have dispatches that are frequent, so people understand where to go, what's the best place to be diving at, what's going on in the war, and just to keep people up to date on the situation. Besides that, thank you for everything once again, and I'll see you guys next time. Please be safe, have fun, and don't drown.